Assalamu alaikum student. Dr. Nveed Shah, your course instructor, is here. Today this is our 24th lecture. In this lecture we will talk about chloroplast transformation. In our previous few lectures we have discussed about plant transformation methods. We have discussed different plant transformation methods. All that methods were actually for transformation of desired gene into the nuclear genome of the plant. But in today's lecture we will talk about transformation of desired gene into the chloroplast genome, or integration of desired gene into the chloroplast genome. The strategy or methodology used for such kind of transformation is almost same as for plant nuclear genome, but basic difference is the organelle. In previous lectures nuclear genome was focused, but here in this case we will focus chloroplast genome, that is called plastosome. First let's start. First of all we will talk about plastid. Plastosome is a term which is actually genome of a plastid. You know, plastid is a plant cell organelle, and this plastid has its own genome that is called plastosome. Student, you know that plastid have three types: chloroplast, amyloplast, and chromoplast. Chloroplast used for photosynthesis, while amyloplast used for starch storing. Chromoplast is present in the colorful part of the plant, like flower, petals, fruits, or somehow leaves, which are not green or in different shade. So chromoplast is actually for the color of plant parts. We will discuss about chloroplast and then transformation of chloroplast. Chloroplast is a site for photosynthesis. Chloroplast also involved in biosynthesis of amino acid, fatty acids, and vitamins. You have already listened about the evolutionary theory of chloroplast and mitochondria, how they become part of the cell. You know, endosymbiotic events as shown here in this figure. Aerobic prokaryotes enter into the plant cell and ultimately become organelle of the plant cell. The consequences of an endosymbiotic event between a eukaryotic host cell and an ancestor of the cyanobacteria. These chloroplasts have their own genetic system and their own genomes. If we talk about the number of chloroplasts in per plant cell, that is 1 to 900 number of the chloroplasts present in the each plant cell, 1 to 900. And what about the chloroplast DNA. Approximately 10,000 DNA copies are present in the chloroplast in each cell. Chloroplast DNA is packed into a discrete structure called chloroplast nucleoid, as we say nucleus in the cell. Same, nucleoid is the genetic material or the genome of the chloroplast. What is the genome size? What is the size of nucleoid? It has a 30 kb to 201 kb size. There is a variation in length mainly due to the presence of inverted repeats, so that's why it has a big range 30 kb to 200 kb. Generally 100 to 250 genes are present in plastosome or genome of chloroplast. These genes participate in expression, in photosynthesis, and in metabolism. Next question is, why genetically engineered chloroplast? Why we need to transform desired gene into chloroplast? Why not in nuclear genome? Three main reasons. First is the risk of the transgene escape. In case of nuclear genome, there is a chance to escape the transgene, chance of escape of desired gene into some other plants. But in case of chloroplast transformation, the natural containment, because of the lack of pollen transmission, because chloroplast is not involved in pollen, that's why there is no risk of escape of transgene. So it provides stability of transgene, and desired gene will not shift to any other plant. This is the first reason. That's why chloroplast transformation use. Other is a low expression level. In case of nuclear genome, there is a low expression level, but in chloroplast transformation, higher level of transgene expression because of the high copy number of plastomes. Foreign protein accumulation of up to or more than 30% of total soluble proteins. Third is a gene silencing. Chloroplast transformation will not involve in gene silencing as in the nuclear transformation, because absence of the position effect due to the lack of a compact chromatin structure. Chloroplast have a compact chromatin structure, and there is a no issue of position effect. That's why efficient transgene integrate by the homologous recombination exactly at desired location. Gene inserted into the plastome. What type of the methods used for chloroplast transformation? As I have already told you, method of transformation is almost same for chloroplast transformation as in the nuclear genome transformation. Most commonly using method is the ballistic DNA delivery. we have already studied about it. Gene gun as shown here in below diagram. Other is a PEG mediated transformation. This is a chemical based transformation method already discussed. Agrobacterium transformation method already discussed in detail. Microinjection also discussed. These are the four methods which we have already discussed. In ballistic DNA delivery, this is a ballistic method, bombardment of particles coated with DNA using high pressure of helium gas as a propellant. Tungsten and gold particles are used in this method. We can use tissues of leaves. Cotyledon may also use, or cell culture may use. Although we have already discussed these method, but a brief view is required here. PEG mediated transformation, treatment of freshly isolated protoplast with PEG allow permeabilization of the plasma membrane and facilitate uptake of DNA. Subsequently, with a mechanism largely uncharacterized, the plasmid DNA passes the plastid membranes and reaches the stroma, where it integrates into the plastome. As during ballistic transformation, a relatively small number of the species have been transformed using this approach, mainly because it required efficient isolation, culture and regeneration of protoplast, a tedious and technically demanding in vitro technique. On the positive side, no special equipment is needed because this is chemical based transformation method, so no special equipment is required here. Other method is agrobacterium mediated transformation method. This is not a successful method for chloroplast transformation. This is another way of micro injection. By using micro syringe or micro needle, the gene can be integrated into the chloroplast genome. Galistein expansion femtosyringe. This is a novel approach involving micro injection of DNA into chloroplast and is not widely used. How this can be used? The heat induced expansion of a liquid metal called galistein within a glass syringe forces the transformation of plastid DNA through a capillary tip with a diameter of approximately 0.1 millimeter. So here this galistein metal, liquid metal, actually expand and develop a pressure on our desired DNA that frequently pass through the needle and integrate into the nuclear into the plastome. What are the milestones for chloroplast transformation achieved? The achievement of chloroplast transformation start actually in 1988 and continue up till to 2004. First achievement was made by using chlamydomonas. This was the first stable plastid transformation, and DNA delivery method was a bialistic approach, as we already talked about homologous targeting, because chloroplast transformation help in achieving homologous recombination. Selection was a photosynthetic competence. What kind of the selection was made? This was a photosynthetic competence. In 1990, Nicotina or Nicotiana tabacum. This is also the first stable plastid transformation. DNA delivery was the bialistic homologous targeting approach. Spectinomycin was the selection. 93 again, Nicotiana tabacum again, but here DNA delivery was a PEG. There was the same approach and selection. In 1995 again, Nicotiana tabacum. New agronomic trait like Bacillus thuringiensis marker gene elimination, co-transformation. Bialistic DNA delivery was used, homologous targeting, and spectinomycin. After that, 1998, Arabidopsis thaliana. Again, first stable plastid transformation in Arabidopsis thaliana. Approach, DNA delivery and selection same. 1999, Solanum tubersum. First stable plastid transformation in potato, and same with Oryza sativa. Other approach or parameter were the same. In 2000, Nicotiana tabacum. Here, first human protein expression was studied in the Nicotiana tabacum. Other approaches, other parameters were same. In 2001, Lycopersicum esculentum. First foreign protein in a fruit marker gene elimination. CRE logs, new agronomic trait, glyphosate tolerant and PPT resistance. 2002, Porphyridium species. This was the first stable plastid transformation in this plant. 2003, Chlamydomonas foot and mouth disease virus VP1 protein expression. Brassicacia, first stable plastid transformation, phytoremediation mercury. And then 2004, Gossypium hirsutum, that is cotton, first stable transformation in Gossypium hirsutum. And glycine max soybean. In 2004, this was the first stable plastid transformation in glycine max. And Linum ostatium, that is called flax. PHB polymer expression, polyhydroxybutyrate polymer expression. We will talk about about PHB in coming lectures. What are the requirements for chloroplast transformation? First is a chloroplast specific expression vector is required. Method for DNA delivery, through which double membrane of the chloroplast. through a double membrane of chloroplast. Third is efficient selection for the transplastome. A chloroplast specific expression vector depend on the integration of the foreign DNA into the chloroplast genome by homologous recombination. More than 400 base pair of homologous sequence on each side of the construct is generally required to obtain chloroplast transformants at a reasonable frequency. Chloroplast specific promoter and terminal signals are also required. Transcribed as operons, which allow more than 2 ORF to transcribe under the same promoter. The selectable markers and gene of interest are placed between the promoter and the terminator, which are flanked by 5' and 3' untranslated regions. As you are seeing this one, wild type chloroplast DNA vector set for the transformation, marker gene and gene of interest are inserted between the LTR and RTR. This is the intergenic regions. Different regions present here before or after our gene of interest, shown with the red arrow. GOI is actually gene of interest. 3' end and 5' end are the both end for our gene of interest. These are the different genes which are present in the construct of that one vector, do not have special properties, may derive from any part of the plastid genome. 14 intergenic regions are present. LTR, RTR, LTR, RTR, you may count 7 regions plus 7 region. These are 14 intergenic regions present in this construct. Chloroplast transformation or expression vector. Here transformation or expression cassette is shown. The perpendicular dotted line shows the vector sequences in white perpendicular lines, and lower one is in green color. These are the actually vector sequences that are the homologous to native chloroplast DNA, resulting in homologous recombination and site specific integration of the gene cassette into the chloroplast genome. So in this is a polycystonic mRNA, we can insert our desired gene in this cassette. Transgene is actually our desired gene. Selectable marker may be changed as per requirement. This is overall view of a chloroplast of tobacco. This chloroplast plastome or chloroplast genome has a size of 155.9 kb. In this genome, 2 sites have been shown with the arrow. These sites are actually for the integration of desired gene. Here we can insert our desired gene and selectable markers or any other kind of the genes. What are the advantages of chloroplast transformation? First advantage is the risk of the transgene escape. As we have already discussed in previous slides, chloroplast genome is maternally inherited, and there is rare occurrence of pollen transmission. Strong level of the biological containment mean control. Other advantage is the expression level. Chloroplast transformation exhibit higher level of transgene expression and higher level of the protein production due to the presence of the multiple copies of chloroplast transgenes per cell. Remains unaffected by the phenomena such as pre or post transcriptional silencing. Other advantage is the homologous recombination. Chloroplast transformation involve homologous recombination and is therefore precise and predictable, and this minimize the insertion of unnecessary DNA that accompanies in nuclear genome transformation. This also avoid the deletion and rearrangement of transgene DNA and host genome DNA at the site of insertion. Fourth one advantage is the gene silencing or RNA interference. Gene silencing or RNA interference does not occur in genetically engineered chloroplast. Fifth one is the position effect. Absence of the position effect due to the lack of compact chromatin structure and efficient transgene integration by homologous recombination. So position effect is not here due to the lack of compact chromatin structure and efficient transgene integration. Avoid inadvertent inactivation of host gene by transgene integration. Sixth one is the disulfide bond formation. In chloroplast transformation is the ability to form disulfide bond, and folding human protein results in higher level production of biopharmaceutical in plants. Next is the multiple gene expression. Multiple transgene expression is possible due to the polycystonic mRNA transcription. Expression of the edible vaccine. Higher level of the expression and engineering foreign genes make this compartment ideal for development of edible vaccines. Ninth advantage is the codon usage. Chloroplast is originated from cyanobacteria through endosymbiosis. It shows significant similarity with the bacterial genome, so any bacterial genome can be inserted in chloroplast genome. Last advantage is the expression of the toxic proteins. Foreign proteins observed to be toxic in cytosol are the non-toxic when accumulated within the transgenic chloroplast, as they are compartmentalized inside the chloroplast. Student, these were the advantages of chloroplast transformation method. So this is all about chloroplast transformation.